hold the mayoral position in the MCD. But having said that, it's all right for the BJP to, to celebrate these early leads or to celebrate these early, some kind of power push that they get.
और एमसीडी में हम शानदार जीत दर्ज करने वाले हैं। धीरे धीरे रुझान जो हैं वो नतीजों में बदल रहे हैं और अरविंद केजरीवाल ने पहले 15 साल की कांग्रेस की सत्ता को उखाड़ा था दिल्ली से, अब 15 साल की एमसीडी को भी उखाड़ दिया है। इसका मतलब ये है कि लोग जो हैं वो नफरत की राजनीति को पसंद नहीं करते। लोग स्कूल, अस्पताल, बिजली, सफाई, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को वोट देते हैं।
15 साल से भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने जो कूड़ा फैलाया था, जोर से बोलिए सर, उस राजनीति को दिल्ली के लोगों ने इस चुनाव में साफ करने का निर्णय लिया है। मैं दिल्ली के लोगों को तहे दिल से बधाई देना चाहता हूं। भारतीय जनता पार्टी गंदी राजनीति के माध्यम से इस चुनाव को जीतने की कोशिश कर रही थी। मार्च में जो चुनाव होना था, उस चुनाव को भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने टाला, उसमें भी चुनाव हार रही थी भाजपा। इस समय फिर गुजरात के साथ चुनाव कराने का निर्णय लिया कि शायद अरविंद केजरीवाल गुजरात में बिजी रहेंगे, इसलिए हम चुनाव जीत जाएंगे।
How do you see this victory and do you think you are satisfied with this victory? भारतीय जनता पार्टी का जो 15 साल का निकम्मापन रहा है, उसके खिलाफ लामबंद होकर वोट किया। नतीजा ये हुआ कि दुनिया की, देश नहीं दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी पार्टी को आम आदमी पार्टी से छोटी सी पार्टी ने पूरी तरह से हरा दिया। ये लड़ाई बेईमान बनाम ईमानदार की थी। जनता ने ईमानदार का साथ दिया, काम करने वालों का साथ दिया। और जिन लोगों ने झूठ फैलाया, देसी का प्रोपेगेंडा चलाया, दिल्ली की जनता ने उनके खिलाफ वोट किया। नतीजा ये कि आम आदमी पार्टी की निगम केंद्र सरकार बन गई।
कितनी बड़ी विक्ट्री देखते हैं सर इसको एमसीडी में?
बहुत बड़ी विक्ट्री है। आप सोचिए, दिल्ली की जनता के खिलाफ भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने पता नहीं कितने दर्जन विधायक, पता नहीं कितने मंत्री और सांसद जमीन पर उतार दिए। तब भी जनता जो है ये एकजुट रही, इकट्ठी रही, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के खिलाफ रही। और नतीजा ये कि आज जो है आम आदमी पार्टी से छोटी सी पार्टी भाजपा जैसी बड़ी पार्टी को उखाड़ रही है।
संजय सिंह जी, रुझान में आपकी पार्टी आगे चल रही है एमसीडी चुनाव में, इसका मतलब क्या हुआ?
देखिए, इसका बहुत साफ संदेश है। बीजेपी के प्रवक्ता हमेशा एक ही बात कहते थे कि हमेशा कांग्रेस को हराया, हमको नहीं हराया, कांग्रेस को हराया, हमको नहीं हराया। इस दर्द को अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने और आम आदमी पार्टी ने अच्छे ढंग से महसूस किया और आज उनके दर्द की दवा कर दी। 15 साल से जहां पर भारतीय जनता पार्टी का राज था, वो किला अरविंद केजरीवाल और आम आदमी पार्टी ने आज ध्वस्त किया है। और इसके साथ साथ दिल्ली की जनता ने एक बड़ा संदेश दिया है कि केजरीवाल एक कट्टर ईमानदार नेता है, आम आदमी पार्टी एक कट्टर ईमानदार पार्टी है। दिल्ली की जनता अपने बेटे अरविंद केजरीवाल के साथ खड़ी है। ये बीजेपी के लिए बहुत बड़ी हार है और आम आदमी पार्टी के लिए बहुत बड़ी जीत है। आप सोचिए, पूरा केंद्रीय नेतृत्व उनका लगा था।
सर, आपकी मेहनत आज रंग लाई है, कैसे देखते हैं ये नतीजा? ने जवाब दे दिया, सतेंद्र जैन का जवाब दे दिया, मनीष सिसोदिया का जवाब दे दिया, वार्ड तोड़ने का जो कोशिश की इन्होंने, इलेक्शन डालने की कोशिश की, सबका जवाब दे दिया। पूरी दिल्ली का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करेंगे, सबने मिलके ये जीत की है और बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद पूरी दिल्ली का। बीजेपी ने सारी कोशिश की, 6 महीने इलेक्शन डाल दिए, वार्ड तोड़ दिए, सब कुछ किया, लेकिन उसके बाद भी दिल्ली की जनता ने अभी और जीतेंगे।
All right, let's quickly go back to Anshul, who's reporting from the Aam Aadmi Party office right now. Anshul, it's interesting that you mentioned the election of the mayor, which is, of course, going to be the first task at hand for the new MCD. Considering the central government had reunified the 3 municipal corporations, how tricky and challenging will be the election of the new mayor of the MCD?
So yes, these new rules have trickled in, and it is definitely going to be a big task for the Aam Aadmi Party to select the next mayor. Now remember the next mayor is going to be selected when the new financial year begins. That is on the 1st of April, and the first mayor is going to be a woman. That is also a requisite that is basically that first year of mayorship is reserved for a woman candidate. So that is also confirmed that a woman is going to be the mayor of Delhi, the first mayor of a unified MCD is going to be Delhi. But yes, just as I hope you heard that announcement that the Chief Minister is about to reach over here, and in the next 4 to 5 minutes, we are expecting that both the Chief Ministers, Bhagwat Mann and Arvind Kejriwal, would be arriving over here and would be addressing this overly excited crowd that has come over here. You can see hundreds and hundreds of people are already present inside the ground. They are just awaiting for Arvind Kejriwal and Bhagwat Mann, and along with them Manish Sisodia to come here and give that victory speech to them, because that is going to be very, very important. And through this speech, on one hand, we are expecting the celebrations to begin, but yes, on the other hand, we are expecting that Arvind Kejriwal, the supremo of the party, will also give a new vision and the new direction to the workers as to in which direction they need to go from here on, and not be lax after this victory that they have managed to get in these elections. So yes, the speech of Arvind Kejriwal is going to be very, very important, and it's going to be very, very interesting to hear what does Arvind Kejriwal has to say to his workers after they have made this historic victory and removed incumbent BJP from the powers in MCD, where they have been winning repeatedly for the last 15 years now, Akansha.
Absolutely. And speaking of which, all right, we'll continue with our coverage and in fact stay with CNN News 18 as we closely track the movement of Delhi's Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal as he inches closer to the Aam Aadmi Party office. On that note, it's time to slip into a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with the latest on the MCD polls.
Again going to form a government once again in Delhi, and I think the trends what all you are showing right now is reflective of the fact that yes, the people have agreed and accepted the fact that for past 15 years BJP has done quite well in the MCD, even when there was a crunch of I would say
Funds.
cash and money that was being offered to them.
Well,
But
whether
still,
there was
they
a real
managed to
crunch
do
of
quite
funds
a
and
good
whether
work.
the allegations made by the BJP on the crunch are really true or not, we'd get to know. I'll take the reaction from the Aam Aadmi Party as well. But we're playing out this reaction that has come in on the story particularly. Let's play out that political reaction coming.
देखिए प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी की ये जीत हो रही है, जो रिजल्ट रुझान आ रहे हैं एग्जिट पोल के एकदम विपरीत हैं, उससे आपको पता चलता है कि लोगों को उनके झूठ से वो बाहर आ चुके हैं, आम आदमी पार्टी के आपके झूठ से बाहर आ गए। और सबको पता है कि मोदी जी अगर झुग्गी के साथ मकान दिए, 3,500 फ्लैट की चाबी दी है, कूड़ा को रिसाइकल करके साफ प्लांट तो शुरू हो गया है, पानी साफ होगा, यमुना नदी साफ होगी, तो पूरे देश की जनता के साथ साथ दिल्ली की जनता यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के साथ खासकर हमारे पूर्वांचलिया के हम धन्यवाद देव कि भैया जोन बात बहिल जोन समझायल गई जोन रउआ लोग समझला वो रिजल्ट जोन देताड़ा वो खातिर हम हमारे समाज के धन्यवाद देव कि कमल के निशान पर विश्वास, हमारे मोदी जी पर विश्वास, भारतीय जनता पार्टी पे विश्वास बरकरार रखिए। देश का भला होता, देश का भला हुई, गरीब का कल्याण हुई, और ये वही पार्टी, गरीबों की एक ही पार्टी है, वो है भारतीय जनता पार्टी। ऐतिहासिक जीत हो रही है गुजरात में, हम लोग 140, 145, 150 भी हो जाएं, वॉन्ट बी सरप्राइज। हिमाचल प्रदेश भी हम लोग जीत रहे हैं, उपचुनाव जहां मैनपुरी में हुआ।
All right, we're going to go over now to our reporters who are also on the ground. We heard from guests, but now we want to bring you ground perspectives. My colleague Yash is with us right now. He's outside the BJP headquarters. He's been bringing us minute-by-minute updates. Yash, we want to come over to you to ask you this question. A little while earlier, our colleague Pallavi gave us an interview with Manoj Tiwari. The BJP seems to still be saying that they are neck to neck with the Aam Aadmi Party, even though most recent numbers, and I want to draw our audience's attention to the numbers we're flashing at the bottom of our screen. The most recent numbers seem to show that the Aam Aadmi Party is in a very clear lead over there, 133 versus 104. Yash, are you seeing that reflected in the BJP headquarters as we speak?
Well, Toya, BJP at this point in time doesn't have any other option but to showcase the optimism when it comes to these entire elections. And in fact, moments from now, Tarun Chugh also came here at Delhi BJP office. And in fact, I'll show you certain visuals from here. People of the Bharatiya Janata Party are still quite positive. They are thinking that these elections could be turned with some with passing time. And in fact, we've seen that results on certain seats are out, and in fact it's almost going 50-50. Some seats are going to the Bharatiya Janata Party, certain seats are going to the Aam Aadmi Party. So still both the parties are at loggerheads when it comes to the election numbers. And in fact, if we talk about the trends, definitely the trends are with the Aam Aadmi Party, and this is what the exit polls had indicated earlier also. In fact, a lot of senior leaders from the Bharatiya Janata Party are inside. In fact, the National General Secretary of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Tarun Chugh, also came a little while ago. And in fact, we see how BL Santosh was here, and Adesh Gupta is also well inside. When we spoke to him, he sounded very optimistic about the results, and he categorically said that it's going to be Bharatiya Janata Party's mayor who will be at the helms of the affairs at the municipal corporation in the national capital. But it still remains to be seen whether the BJP could actually pull off these trends in their favor. And in fact, we have with us Yasir Jilani also, who is the spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Yasir ji, number kabhi udhar ja rahe hain, kabhi idhar ja rahe hain. क्या लग रहा है?
संपूर्ण रूप से भारतीय जनता पार्टी का एक एक देवतुल्य कार्यकर्ता जो है उसको विश्वास है कि दिल्ली में हमारी जीत हो चुकी है। नैतिकता के आधार पर अरविंद केजरीवाल एंड टीम हार चुकी है। जितनी बड़े बड़े दावे थे, जितना लैंडस्लाइड विक्ट्री की पिछले 34 से 48 घंटों से वो जश्न मना रहे थे, जनता ने नकार दिया है।
Over the next few minutes, we continue to track the MCD elections, the Municipal Corporation of Delhi elections. Remember, the BJP has been in power in the MCD for 15 years. This time, the Aam Aadmi Party is hoping to change that. They're hoping to wrestle away power from the BJP. Now, will they be successful in doing that? There's been excessive campaigning from both parties over the last few weeks, a particularly high decibel run that we've seen from both parties.
Shivam ji, aapse janna chahungi, I'd like to know from you. The Aam Aadmi Party says that what Delhi has got in the last 15 years, when you were administering at the MCD, is heaps and piles of garbage. Sanitation is a core issue in the national capital, and something that the BJP has not been able to take care of. I want you to talk about that particular civic issue of sanitation in the national capital, and what has the BJP done about it? Shivam ji.
I do agree that sanitation and cleanliness is the core issue of the Delhi Municipal Corporation. I don't shy away from doing so. But I do want to say that it is the BJP who has ensured that the landfill sites, the height of landfill sites are reduced by the BJP run MCD only. The landfill sites were probably cut down to quite a good meters by the BJP only. It was the BJP who ensured that,
Book today.
Welcome back, and staying with our top focus on the MCD polls, those are the latest visuals of Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal arriving at the Aam Aadmi Party office in the heart of the national capital in ITO, and you can see he is accompanied by prominent members of the Aam Aadmi Party, including Punjab CM Bhagwant Mann. I'm also told that his cavalcade also includes Delhi's Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia. He's flanked by party workers, all in a celebratory mood. As you can also hear, there's music playing in the backdrop, loud, blaring music, in fact, being played over the loudspeakers. People are now awaiting Arvind Kejriwal to deliver his first address after the party crossed the victory mark of 126. That was the magic figure that the Aam Aadmi Party was aiming for. And as we also informed you earlier, soon after Aam Aadmi Party was declared victorious, the Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia took to Twitter to brag about the victory of Aam Aadmi Party. For more details, let's quickly go across to Anshul, who's bringing us the latest updates. Anshul, if you could walk us through what's happening right now. I believe Arvind Kejriwal has reached the Aam Aadmi Party office.
So yes, the Delhi CM, the Punjab CM and the Delhi Deputy CM, all of them have reached the Aam Aadmi Party headquarters in the ITO. I'll try and show you in the visuals. The sloganeering has started from the podium, and in the next few minutes what we are expecting is all the top brass of the Aam Aadmi Party will be going over there and will be thanking their workers for the manner in which they have worked so hard over the last few months. making sure that that such a result comes out of these MCD elections. So Sanjay Singh is on the podium right now. He's listening to the crowd, thanking the workers for the kind of work that they have done over the past 6 months. The relentless efforts of these workers have made sure that the Aam Aadmi Party goes ahead and wins this MCD election for the first time. And at a point when the BJP was continuously winning this election over the last 15 years. Sir, कितनी excitement है आज पहली बार जीते MCD में?
देखिए ऐसा है, ये काम की जीत है जो अरविंद जी ने 8 साल में डिलीवर किया है। ये उस बेटे को, उस भाई को, दिल्ली की जनता का आशीर्वाद है।
So yes, you heard there. Sanjay Singh will now be addressing the crowd. He has finally gotten over the podium. He will now be addressing the crowd and will be thanking them.
आम आदमी पार्टी परिवार की ओर से दिल्ली के लोकप्रिय मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की ओर से इस बड़ी जीत के लिए बहुत बहुत बधाई, बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। हमारे जो पार्षद भाई बहन यहाँ पर जीत के आए हैं, उनको भी बहुत बहुत बधाई और शुभकामनाएं। दिल्ली की जनता ने पूरे देश को संदेश दिया है। दिल्ली की जनता ने पूरे देश को बताने का काम किया है कि उनके बेटे अरविंद केजरीवाल का अगर उत्पीड़न करोगे, फर्जी मुकदमे लिखोगे, तो तुमको चुनाव में अपने वोट की ताकत से पराजित करके जवाब देने का काम किया। कितने मुकदमे लिखे, कितने फर्जी आरोप लगाए, कितने छापेमारी की, कितना उत्पीड़न किया, लेकिन पूरी दिल्ली ने मिलकर एक स्वर में कहा उनका बेटा अरविंद केजरीवाल कट्टर ईमानदार है और आम आदमी पार्टी कट्टर ईमानदार पार्टी है। भाजपा के लोगों के मन में एक ही दर्द रहता था, कहते थे हमेशा कांग्रेस को हराया, कांग्रेस को हराया, कांग्रेस को हराया। उस दर्द की दवा दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल ने कर दी। 15 साल से जहां पर बीजेपी का राज था, उस किले को ध्वस्त करने का काम अरविंद केजरीवाल और आम आदमी पार्टी ने किया। दिल्ली के अंदर अभी मैं भाजपाइयों को सुन रहा था, अभी भी कह रहे मेयर हमारा होगा। 20-25 सीटें कम है और हमारी सीटें बहुमत से काफी ज्यादा है, फिर भी कह रहे हैं मेयर हमारा होगा। दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी बेशर्म पार्टी है भारतीय जनता पार्टी, जो खुद ही कह रही है कि वो भारतीय खोखा पार्टी है, खोखा पार्टी है। इसलिए दिल्ली में मेयर भी आम आदमी पार्टी का होगा और दिल्ली के कूड़े के पहाड़ पर, दिल्ली के कूड़ा राज पर, एमसीडी के भ्रष्टाचार के राज पर दिल्ली की जनता ने झाड़ू चलाने का काम किया है। झाड़ू चलाने का काम किया है। मैं फिर से एक बार आप सबको हृदय की गहराइयों से बधाई देते हुए ये कहना चाहता हूं कि दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी पार्टी के लोगों, अहंकार में मत रहो। 400 सांसद तुमने दिल्ली में लगाए, मोदी जी, अमित शाह जी की फोटो लगाई, नड्डा जी को चुनाव का प्रभार दिया, 17 केंद्रीय मंत्री और 8 मुख्यमंत्री लगाए, बावजूद इसके दिल्ली के बेटे को, अरविंद केजरीवाल को दिल्ली की जनता ने जिताया। और देखिए मजेदार बात, अभी एक चैनल पे मैं एक भाजपाई को सुन रहा था, कह रहे थे हाँ इतने परसेंट वोट। अरे भैया, पिछले चुनाव के मुकाबले 80 सीट बीजेपी हारी है, 80 सीट, और पिछले चुनाव के मुकाबले हम 80 सीट ज्यादा जीते, 80 सीट ज्यादा जीते। ये बहुत बड़ी जीत है। एक बार जोरदार नारा हम लोग लगाएंगे, अरविंद केजरीवाल, अरविंद केजरीवाल,
अरविंद केजरीवाल, दिल्ली का लाल, दिल्ली का लाल, भारत माता की, भारत माता की। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद संजय भैया। अब मैं निवेदन करूंगा दिल्ली प्रदेश के अध्यक्ष और दिल्ली सरकार में कैबिनेट मंत्री आदरणीय गोपाल राय जी से जो हम सबको संबोधित करें। 2000 तालियों से स्वागत करिए गोपाल राय जी का। भारत माता की।
वैसे तो हाथ ऊपर करने के लिए जगह नहीं है, लेकिन फिर भी माँ भारती के जितने बेटे बेटियां यहाँ उपस्थित हैं, दोनों हाथ की मुट्ठियां बांध करके हाथ ऊपर करेंगे। सब लोगों का हाथ ऊपर होना चाहिए, पूरी ताकत के साथ बोलेंगे भारत माता की, भारत माता की।
All right, let's quickly go across to Anshul. So clearly a celebratory mood over there. We heard Sanjay Singh of the Aam Aadmi Party also take digs and pot shots at the Bharatiya Janata Party for what they have been claiming, that the fact that the BJP has in fact not lost by a margin, but in fact compared to earlier years, according to Sanjay Singh, this has been a huge and dismal performance for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Let me quickly go across to Anshul. Anshul, if you were to analyze what Sanjay Singh just now said, as we were discussing earlier, the fight for the post the mayor has already begun. As Sanjay Singh was highlighting the fact that BJP is already asking for कि mayor तो हमारा ही होगा, but of course the Aam Aadmi Party remains steadfast about the fact that they will be the ones, because of the majority, who will be appointing the mayor now.
Is definitely being optimistic at this point in time when they come out and say that they will be the party that will be making the mayor at this point in time. But yes, the manner in which Sanjay Singh today attacked the BJP, the manner in which he said that even after the entire top brass of the BJP was on the ground campaigning for the BJP for these elections, even after that, the Aam Aadmi Party has managed to get those votes and to actually be the party who is going to give the next mayor to the Delhi. So yes, at this point in time, the Aam Aadmi Party is definitely talking about the positives that they are picking up from these elections. But yes, there are still many drawbacks that we need to actually think about before projecting Arvind Kejriwal as the next biggest opposition leader. There is still massive gap. There are still many discrepancies. If you see the entire election campaign of the BJP has been pretty successful, if you see in that terms, because the vote margin that was expected to be a landslide margin or a runaway victory that the Aam Aadmi Party could get, that is something that has not happened, and this is something that the top brass of the Aam Aadmi Party would be discussing upon, and it remains to be seen what do they actually think about the manner in which these results have come, because they have only managed to get approximately 135 to 140 seats as of now. But yes, they were expecting anywhere around 180 to 200 seats. Just 2 days ago, Saurabh Bhardwaj on the day of polling had also come out and said that they are going to win more than 200 seats to 220 seats. Whereas on the other hand, the BJP was on the back foot since day one. I've been speaking to many leaders of the Delhi BJP, and they knew that anti-incumbency is a massive factor in this election. And even after that, they have managed to cross the 100 mark, which tells a lot about the successful campaign that the BJP has able to run, basically denting the image of Aam Aadmi Party at many places. The main campaign that the BJP ran was not on what they are going to do for the BJP if they come out. If they come out victorious in these MCD elections, but the entire campaign of the BJP since day one has how the Aam Aadmi Party is not an Imandar party, not an honest party, but is a party full of liars. We have seen that Satyendra Jain has been in the jail for the past 6 months. Manish Sisodia was interrogated by the ED in the liquor gate scam. So yes, these were some of the most pertinent issues that the BJP raised. Also the manner in which the videos from Bihar were leaked. So yes, that has definitely dented the image of the Aam Aadmi Party, and the manner in which they were expecting the victory, the margin of the victory, that has not come to them as of now. So yes, this is something that they will deliberate upon and come up with the answers before projecting Arvind Kejriwal as the next biggest opposition leader in front of the nation.
And now you know, you've very rightly articulated how the BJP has managed to dent the image of the Aam Aadmi Party as a non-corrupt, honest party, because if that was the sentiment on the ground level, then perhaps Deputy CM Manish Sisodia wouldn't have really made the kind of losses in the wards of his own constituency of Patparganj, or even Satyendra Jain having lost out in Shakur Basti is concerned. But having said that, let's not forget that yes, the Aam Aadmi Party has had quite a victory today, and the fact is, what will this, the question now arises is, what will this mean for the BJP and the upcoming MCD, the upcoming assembly elections? Because let's not forget that the double engine governance will now be taken over by the Aam Aadmi Party.
So yes, definitely the BJP, it seems like the Delhi BJP has some sort of a bad luck when it comes to fighting elections in the national capital. If you see, when there are national elections, the BJP has a record of 7-0, not only once but twice they have won this with absolute majority when it comes to the national elections. But when you see these local elections, the assembly elections or the MCD elections, the record of Delhi BJP is very, very bad. Even the last MCD elections that the BJP won was also by a very, very slight margin and was not by a massive landslide victory. But now Arvind Kejriwal is there, the Aam Aadmi Party Supremo is over here, Bhagwat Mann is also over here, the Punjab CM has also arrived. He's waving to the crowd. The crowd is waving back to them currently, and also Manish Sisodia is also present over here. So yes, the reception has started. The top brass of the Aam Aadmi Party is now on the podium. Raghav Chadha can also be seen over there, showing the victory sign to the workers, congratulating them for the massive amount of hard work that they have put in over the past 6 to 8 months, and also the ward members who are present over here, the councillors who are present over here, who have come out victorious. The CM is now thanking them. They are waving to them, because this is definitely a massive victory that the Aam Aadmi Party is thinking that they have got, and today is a day of celebrations is what they are seeing.
दिल्ली के सभी कार्यकर्ताओं को, आम आदमी पार्टी के देश भर के कार्यकर्ताओं को, सबको बहुत बहुत बधाई। और साथ साथ दिल्ली की जनता को बहुत बहुत दिल की गहराइयों से धन्यवाद, क्योंकि उन्होंने 15 साल की भ्रष्ट भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार को हटाकर ईमानदार, कट्टर ईमानदार केजरीवाल जी के नेतृत्व में एमसीडी में भी आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार बनाने के लिए बहुमत दिया है। इसके लिए दिल्ली की जनता को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। यहाँ बैठे, यहाँ आए हुए बहुत सारे कैंडिडेट्स को देख रहा हूँ। आप सबको, सभी एमएलए को, सभी कार्यकर्ताओं को खूब खूब बधाई। आज दिल्ली ने सिर्फ केजरीवाल जी को जिताने का मैंडेट नहीं दिया, बल्कि 15 साल से एमसीडी को लूट रही और दिल्ली की जनता को लूट रही भारतीय जनता पार्टी को हराने का मैंडेट दिया। आम आदमी पार्टी के लिए ये बहुत बड़ी बात है कि जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी अपने आप को दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी पार्टी कहती है, 15 साल से भारतीय जनता पार्टी एमसीडी की सत्ता में थी, उसको बाहर करके दिल्ली के लोगों ने केजरीवाल जी को मौका दिया। ये सिर्फ जीत नहीं है, बल्कि एक बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी है। दिल्ली को साफ करने की जिम्मेदारी, दिल्ली को चमकाने की जिम्मेदारी, दिल्ली के एक एक गली को शानदार करने की जिम्मेदारी। तो मैं इसके लिए सभी कार्यकर्ताओं की ओर से हमको लीड करने के लिए अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को भी धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूं कि उन्होंने अपने विजन से, अपने कार्य से, अपनी दूरदृष्टि से देश को एक ऐसी राजनीति दी है जिससे लोग काम की राजनीति को वोट करते हैं। मैं आगे के लिए अपने भाई और पंजाब के मुख्यमंत्री माननीय भगवंत मान जी को बुलाना चाहता हूँ, वो भी अपने 2 शब्द यहाँ पे रखें। बहुत बधाई मेरी तरफ से भी। इनकलाब, भारत माता की वंदे। मैं आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूँ, क्योंकि इलेक्शन लड़ते नेता हैं, लेकिन फाइनल जनता करती है। तो जनता जीत रही है।
15 साल बाद एमसीडी में जनता जीत गई, नेता हार गए। आपने अपने दोस्तों को, अपने बड़े छोटे भाइयों को जिताया। अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने कहा कि मुझे एमसीडी भी दे दो, मैं ये भी ठीक कर दूंगा। देखो, दिल्ली को देश का दिल कहा जाता है और आम आदमी पार्टी 10 साल की हुई अभी 26 नवंबर को, और दिल्ली आम आदमी पार्टी में दिल्ली भी जीती है और दिल्ली भी जीती है। हुकूमत वो करते हैं जिनका दिलों पर राज होता है, यूं कहने को तो मुर्गे के सर पे भी ताज होता है। आप लोगों ने हमारे दिल जीते हैं। जिस तरीके से आप लोगों ने बाहर आके वोट किया, आपने विश्वास जताया, चाहे वो दिल्ली में हो, तीसरी बार चौथी बार हो गया आपको एमसीडी, पंजाब में हो, और कल शाम तक आपको गुजरात में दिया। आज एक प्रवक्ता बीजेपी का पत्रकार कोई था, प्रवक्ता होते हैं उनके, तो कह रहे जी बीजेपी वाले कह रहे हैं आज का जो पोल एग्जिट पोल वो गलत साबित हो गया, जो 170 180 बोल रहे थे वो नहीं आई। मैंने कहा चलो आज वाला गलत साबित हो, कल वाला गलत साबित, जो कल होगा वो भी गलत साबित होगा। गुजरात में आम आदमी पार्टी को बहुत बड़ा चमत्कार आपको देखने के लिए मिलेगा। कल सुबह जैसे आज हो गई 6 तैयारी की, 8 बजे टीवी लगाया, 4 बजे उठे, कल भी उतने बजे उठना है, और कल जब 8:15 बजेंगे आपको अभी जो आए हैं उनकी मुझको भी ला देता हूँ घर में, आप तो गए यहाँ, वो इतने पॉपुलर है कि रुझानों तक एंड तक उनकी बात ही करते हैं, लेकिन परिणामों तक नहीं कर सकते ना, वो तो फिर बताने पड़ेंगे। रुझानों तक एक चैनल दिखा आज में, वो 3 बार उसकी एंकर जो थी 3 बार उसने बताई थी बीजेपी को, बीजेपी आ गई है, बीजेपी क्या हुआ है? जब आपको कह रही है नहीं ये आंकड़े तो गलत थे, तो आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे? आप हाथ कोई बात नहीं, हमारा मीडिया में, और मैं आपको दिल से बधाई देना चाहता हूँ। और जो राजनीति की दशा और दिशा बदलने के लिए रामलीला ग्राउंड से पार्टी निकली, अरविंद जी निकले, वो काफिला बहुत ज्यादा बड़ा हो गया है। देखिए, हम वादे नहीं करते, हम विनती करते। 1 जुलाई से हमने गारंटी दी थी, 1 जुलाई से पंजाब में बिजली के बिल हमने दिए 75 लाख मीटर हैं, उसमें से 61 लाख मीटरों को बिजली का बिल 0 है। और अगला दिसंबर का बिल 67 लाख, तो 67 वाला हमारा आंकड़ा 67 लाख घरों को 0 बिल आएगा। जनवरी का नए साल का तोहफा पंजाबियों के लिए ये होगा आम आदमी पार्टी का, 71 लाख घरों को 0 बिल आएगा। और ये हम हवा में नहीं बताते कि आपके खाते में 15 लाख आ जाएगा, हम तो करते हैं भाई, हम 15 लाख नहीं, हम तो ये कहते हैं आपके हो जाएगी, स्कूल अच्छे हो जाएंगे, बिजली फ्री हो जाएगी, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बहुत अच्छा हो जाएगा, और महिलाओं के लिए हमने अलग से सम्मान राशि रखी हुई है, और बाकी हॉस्पिटल थर्ड क्लास देखो, हम तो बोलते रहते हैं, एक सिर्फ 25 सेकंड के लिए आप अपने दिल की भड़ास चीख मार कर जो निकालना बदलगा। कहूंगा देश की राजनीति को एक नया मोड़ देने वाले आप सबके लोकप्रिय अरविंद केजरीवाल। भारत माता की, भारत माता की, इनकलाब, वंदे।
सबसे पहले दिल्ली के लोगों को बहुत 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 बधाई देना चाहता हूं मैं। इतनी बड़ी जीत के लिए, इतनी शानदार जीत के लिए, इतने बड़े बदलाव के लिए, इतने बड़े परिवर्तन के लिए मैं दिल्ली के लोगों को बहुत बहुत बधाई देना चाहता हूं। मैं दिल्ली के लोगों का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहता हूं कि उन्होंने अपने बेटे को, अपने भाई को इस लायक समझा कि उन्होंने आज हमारे को नगर निगम की भी जिम्मेदारी दे दी है। अभी तक उन्होंने हमें जो जो जिम्मेदारियां दी, दिल्ली के लोगों ने शिक्षा की जिम्मेदारी दी, स्कूलों की जिम्मेदारी दी। हमने रात दिन मेहनत करके स्कूल ठीक किए, लाखों करोड़ों बच्चों का भविष्य बनाया। लोगों ने हमें अस्पतालों की जिम्मेदारी दी, हमने रात दिन मेहनत करके अस्पताल ठीक किए, लोगों के इलाज का इंतजाम किया, अच्छे इलाज का इंतजाम किया। लोगों ने हमें बिजली की जिम्मेदारी दी, हमने बिजली ठीक की, बिजली मुफ्त की, 24 घंटे बिजली की। आज दिल्ली के लोगों ने अपने बेटे को, अपने भाई को दिल्ली की सफाई करने की जिम्मेदारी दी है, भ्रष्टाचार दूर करने की जिम्मेदारी दी है, पार्कों को ठीक करने की जिम्मेदारी दी है। कई सारी जिम्मेदारियां आज दी हैं। इतना प्यार दिया आपने, इतना विश्वास किया आपने मेरे ऊपर, इसके लिए मैं आपका ऋण कभी नहीं चुका सकता। मैं पूरी कोशिश करूंगा रात दिन मेहनत करके आपके इस भरोसे को कायम रखूं, ऐसी मेरी हमेशा कोशिश रहेगी। I love you too. जितने कैंडिडेट जीते हैं उन सब लोगों को बहुत बहुत बधाई। आम आदमी पार्टी वाले जो जीते हैं उनको भी बधाई, भारतीय जनता पार्टी वाले जो जीते हैं उनको भी बधाई, कांग्रेस वाले जो जीते हैं उनको भी बधाई, निर्दलीय जो जीते हैं उनको भी बधाई, और जो हारे हैं उनसे मैं निवेदन करना चाहता हूं कि मायूस मत होना, दिल्ली को ठीक करने में हम आपका भी सहयोग लेंगे। अब अपने को सबको मिलके काम करना है। मेरी सबसे अपील है सभी कैंडिडेट से, सभी पार्टियों से, कि बस राजनीति आज तक की थी, आज तक जितनी राजनीति करनी थी कर ली। अब अपने को सबको मिलके काम करना है, सबको मिलके दिल्ली ठीक करनी है। इसमें मैं बीजेपी का भी सहयोग चाहता हूं, इसमें मैं कांग्रेस का भी सहयोग चाहता हूं, मैं सबका सहयोग चाहता हूं। सबके सहयोग से हम दिल्ली को ठीक करेंगे, सब मिलके दिल्ली को ठीक करेंगे। 250 के 250 पार्षद जो चुन के आए हैं, मैं अब उनसे निवेदन करता हूं कि आप किसी पार्टी के पार्षद नहीं, अब आप दिल्ली के पार्षद हैं, मिलके दिल्ली को ठीक करें। और आज के बाद से मैं सभी पार्टियों का भी सहयोग की अपेक्षा करता हूं कि हम सारी पार्टियों को साथ लेके चलेंगे। जिन लोगों ने हमें वोट दिया उनका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, जिन्होंने वोट नहीं दिया उनको मैं कहना चाहता हूं पहले आपके काम कराएंगे फिर दूसरों के काम कराएंगे। हमें दिल्ली को ठीक करने में सबके सहयोग की जरूरत है और खासकर हमें केंद्र सरकार की मदद भी चाहिए, केंद्र सरकार का सहयोग भी चाहिए। हम आज इस मंच के जरिए से मैं केंद्र सरकार से भी और खासकर प्रधानमंत्री जी से भी दिल्ली को ठीक करने के लिए आशीर्वाद चाहता हूं कि उनका भी, प्रधानमंत्री जी का भी और केंद्र सरकार का भी आशीर्वाद हमें चाहिए। अब दिल्ली को साफ करना है, पूरा ठीक करना है कि नहीं करना है? इसमें सबकी ड्यूटी लगेगी, बच्चों की भी ड्यूटी लगेगी, महिलाओं की भी ड्यूटी लगेगी, बुजुर्गों की भी ड्यूटी लगेगी, युवाओं की भी ड्यूटी लगेगी। अकेले हमसे नहीं होगा। दिल्ली के 2 करोड़, अपना ये परिवार है ना, मैं बार बार बोलता हूँ, अपने दिल्ली के 2 करोड़ लोगों का परिवार है। 2 करोड़ लोग हम सारे मिलकर दिल्ली की सफाई करेंगे।
अरविंद केजरीवाल, अरविंद केजरीवाल।
अपने को भ्रष्टाचार भी दूर करना है। अभी तक जो सारा सिस्टम चल रहा था, लूटपाट का, लेंटर पे पैसे लेने का, ये सब खत्म करना है। अपने को जैसे दिल्ली सरकार साफ सुथरी करी हमने, दिल्ली सरकार के अंदर अब भ्रष्टाचार नहीं होता, ऐसे ही अब नगर निगम को भी साफ करना है। सारे हमारी तरफ देख रहे हैं, बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी है। और दिल्ली के लोगों ने तो पूरे देश को एक मैसेज दिया है, सारे देश को एक मैसेज दिया है। क्या मैसेज है? मेरे पास बहुत लोग आते हैं, बड़े बड़े नेता, कई सालों के नेता, पुरानी पार्टियों वाले, सब कहते हैं केजरीवाल जी आप जो करते हो इससे वोट नहीं मिलते। वोट लेने के लिए, राजनीति करने के लिए थोड़ा सा गाली गलौज करनी पड़ती है, तू मैं करनी पड़ती है। मैं आज आप सब लोगों को कहना चाहता हूँ, गाली गलौज करने नहीं आए। हम शरीफों की पार्टी है, हम अच्छे लोगों की पार्टी है। जब भी कोई आम आदमी पार्टी वाले को देखे तो उसके मन में श्रद्धा जागनी चाहिए, उसके मन में एक रिस्पेक्ट होनी चाहिए, आम आदमी पार्टी वाला है। हमें कोई कितना भी उकसाए, हमें गाली गलौज नहीं करनी, हमें नेगेटिव राजनीति नहीं करनी। लोग कहते हैं कि आप ये स्कूल बनवाते हो, अस्पताल बनवाते हो, इससे वोट थोड़ी मिलती है। आज दिल्ली के लोगों ने सारे देश को मैसेज दिया है कि स्कूल और अस्पताल से भी वोट मिलती है। अगर हम स्कूल और अस्पताल नहीं बनाएंगे, सड़क ठीक नहीं करेंगे, बिजली ठीक नहीं करेंगे, पानी ठीक नहीं करेंगे, गाली गलौज करते रहेंगे, तो देश की तरक्की कैसे होगी? देश की तरक्की तो असल मुद्दों से होगी ना, जो आम आदमी पार्टी उठा रही है। आज दिल्ली में 4था चुनाव जीते हम, स्कूल, अस्पताल, बिजली, पानी। और दिल्ली के लोगों ने आज इस देश के अंदर एक बहुत बड़ा मैसेज दिया है कि पॉजिटिव राजनीति करो, नेगेटिव राजनीति बंद करो। हमने पूरा चुनाव हमने पॉजिटिव तरीके से राजनीति की, मुद्दों की राजनीति की। हम जनता में जाके क्या कहते हैं? हम ये कहते हैं कि हमने आपके बच्चों के लिए स्कूल बना दिया, हमको वोट दो। हम ये कहते हैं कि हमने आपके परिवार के लिए इलाज का इंतजाम कर दिया, हमको वोट दो। हम गाली गलौज तो नहीं करते, दूसरों के साथ मारपीट तो नहीं करते, झूठे इल्जाम तो नहीं लगाते। तो ये पॉजिटिव राजनीति को आगे लेके जाना है। और मेरा दिल कहता है कि जैसे जैसे देश के अंदर ये पॉजिटिव राजनीति बढ़ेगी, हमारे देश को दुनिया का नंबर 1 देश बनाने से कोई नहीं रोक सकता। और यही है जो देश को आगे बढ़ाएगा। गाली गलौज से देश आगे नहीं बढ़ेगा, गुंडागर्दी से, लफंगई से, मारपीट से देश आगे नहीं बढ़ने वाला। 75 साल बीत गए इस देश को, 75 साल में हम पीछे रह गए। अब टाइम नहीं है, जनता बड़ी बेचैन हो रही है। अब अगर अपने को अपने देश को आगे ले जाना है, पॉजिटिव राजनीति करनी पड़ेगी, विकास की राजनीति करनी पड़ेगी। स्कूल, अस्पताल, बिजली, पानी, ये असल मुद्दे हैं जिसकी वजह से देश परेशान है, इनकी राजनीति करनी पड़ेगी। मैं फिर से दिल्ली के लोगों को बहुत बहुत बधाई देना चाहता हूँ और साथ सबको एक चीज और कहना चाहता हूँ, अहंकार मत करना। बड़े बड़े सत्ता गिर गए हैं अहंकार के, अहंकार कभी मत करना। कई सारे आप में से काउंसलर बने हो, कई सारे आप में से एमएलए भी बने हो, कई सारे आज मान साहब भी खड़े हैं, पंजाब के हमारे मंत्रीगण में सुन रहे होंगे। उन सबको मैं कहना चाहता हूँ, कोई अहंकार मत करना। अगर हमने अहंकार किया तो ऊपर वाला बल जनता माफ करे ना, ऊपर वाला कभी माफ नहीं करेगा, आपके पतन पक्का है। भारत माता की।
सभी जो कैंडिडेट जीते यहाँ पर आए हैं, सभी लोग अपने अपने क्षेत्र में जाएंगे, वहाँ जनता।
Well, that was a victory speech there that we heard from the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. This after the Aam Aadmi Party won the MCD elections, the national capital, which meant the 15-year rule of the BJP came to an end. There you heard from Arvind Kejriwal that the Kattar Imandar party has won. People have spoken. They wanted change because a lot of promises were made by the BJP, but not even half of them were fulfilled. What's the more on the ground? What does this mean for the Aam Aadmi Party? What does this mean for the BJP? More importantly, what does this mean for the Congress Party that got numbers in the single digit? Let me first understand what's happening at the AAP headquarters. Nikhil is joining us from the AAP headquarters. There we heard the victory speech. Nikhil, this is a big fillip to the Aam Aadmi Party. Despite the fact that the exit polls had given them a clean sweep, the BJP managed to get it down to the wire. But at the end of the day, a win is a win. What does this mean?
The USP, as Arvind Kejriwal mentioned, the unique selling proposition in the entire Aam Aadmi Party is the work that they have been doing for the people in terms of schools, colleges, hospitals. So this is the kind of vision that Arvind Kejriwal has projected today. So now the onus is on them, the onus is on the workers yet again to make sure that the trust that the people of Delhi have entrusted on them should not be broken at any cost.
Sure. And you know, we heard something very interesting as Arvind Kejriwal was wrapping his victory speech that आगे जाते समय अहंकार नहीं होना चाहिए. We need to go with the same intent that we worked so far. I believe Nikhil is also now back with us. He's also joining us from the AAP headquarters here in the national capital. While Nikhil, you know, yes, the Aam Aadmi Party is celebrating. They're saying this is a victory for an honest party. But some of the patterns that are emerging could be slightly problematic, which is what has happened as far as wards of Satendra Jain and Manish Sisodia are concerned. There, the BJP has actually managed to sweep those wards. So the narrative that the BJP is now pushing, that as far as issues of corruption were concerned, that hasn't completely been tackled away with.
Either a part residential or where they have their constituency assembly right. Only on those particular cases, the impact of the corruption charges you can see time and again raised by the Bharatiya Janata Party, the impact is seen on that cases only. But the larger part is, the larger perspective is the kind of campaigning which was done by the Bharatiya Janata Party. Overall, it has been rejected by the voters of the national capital because had it been the case, or had it been with the support of the campaigning which was being done by the BJP, the numbers would have.
Okay, we seem to have lost that line with Nikhil once again. We'll try and re-establish that. But let's understand what's happening at the BJP headquarters. Yash is also now joining us. Yash, the BJP gave a tough fight, despite the fact that the exit polls had completely given it to the Aam Aadmi Party. It really came down to the wire. Over 100 wards as far as the BJP is concerned. What are they saying? Where do they think they've missed the opportunity, or where did they possibly not complete the promises?
Well, Vidima, the BJP leaders are not saying that they have done something wrong. What they are saying is that they have, apart from facing an anti-incumbency, they have still managed to clinch around 100 seats. So, in fact, they are going on to congratulating each other here at the party Delhi BJP office. And in fact, certain MLCs who have been elected are also making beeline over here at the Delhi BJP office, and they are coming in numbers. These are those leaders who have won their seats. In fact, earlier also we spoke to certain leaders of the Delhi BJP, and they are still saying that this is not a loss for them. And in fact, after remaining in power for 15 years, it's still a big victory for them. In fact, the entire narrative which the Bharatiya Janata Party had created earlier around the corruption in Delhi, with Arvind Kejriwal being at the helms of affairs in the national capital as the chief minister, somewhere was missing on the ground. And this is the reason why the Bharatiya Janata Party was unable to get the attention of the people, and then in turns turning into the votes. In fact, if we talk about the vote share, we can say that the vote share of the Bharatiya Janata Party is intact, and what the Aam Aadmi Party has done over here is the Aam Aadmi Party has taken away a large chunk of voters from the Congress Party. And that's why this whole equation is coming out, where the Aam Aadmi Party has now emerged as the clear winner. And in fact, we also heard from the Chief Minister, Arvind Kejriwal, some time back, and he also urged to the centre that we need to work together to actually resolve all the issues which the people of the national capital are facing. In fact, I also spoke to Shahzad Poonawala of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and he said that what condition the Bharatiya Janata Party had approximately 6 months ago, this situation which right now they're standing is much way better, but they had expected a much better performance this point in time. But the final results are almost here, and in fact the Bharatiya Janata Party has lost, and the Arvind Kejriwal led Aam Aadmi Party will be choosing the mayor of the national capital in coming days now.
Right. Yash, I'll request you to stay on with us. I'll request Anshul and Nikhil also to stay on with us. A lot of reactions coming in. Let's listen into what Raghav Chadha of the Aam Aadmi Party had to say.
How are you looking at this performance in the MCD?
Well, I think it's a wonderful performance, and people of Delhi have once again blessed their own beta, their own son Arvind Kejriwal with an additional responsibility, and they have made Aam Aadmi Party victorious. All I can say is that people of Delhi have voted for those जिन्होंने काम किया and defeated those जिन्होंने बदनाम किया. People of Delhi have today avenged all the muck that these people tried to throw at Arvind Kejriwal, and people of Delhi have today defeated the politics of negativity, abuse and propaganda. It was a straight contest between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party, in which the Aam Aadmi Party has won. I think the one message that we must draw from this direct fight, this high voltage election in Delhi, is that the national politics is going to see the same contest, the same two parties, BJP and Aam Aadmi Party, and national politics of this country is being reshaped. It will be a Modi versus Kejriwal election henceforth.
There we heard from Aam Aadmi Party's Raghav Chadha. Two very interesting things that he is saying. One, he is saying कि लोगों ने उस पार्टी को चुना है जिस पार्टी ने काम किया है. Secondly, what the Aam Aadmi Party is also now going to do going forward is they're going to go with the narrative that the Aam Aadmi Party has replaced the Congress Party as the dominant opposition party in the country. And this is what the Aam Aadmi Party is saying. We're a 10-year-old party. If we can dislodge the BJP, who had been at the MCD for 15 years, just give us a few more years and see what we can do as far as the national picture is concerned. And this is where I want to bring in Anshul back in the conversation. Anshul, today, yes, the Aam Aadmi Party is celebrating their victory in the MCD elections. But as I've been saying since morning, this also gives them a big fillip as far as their national ambitions are concerned, because considering the fact that the Congress was seen nowhere today and they've been reduced to almost single digits, barely making it to double digits, is the fact that the Aam Aadmi Party has now become the dominant opposition in the country against the BJP.
So yes, I think being a student of politics, I think that making such claims is still very, very early when you see the entire national scheme of things. We saw the manner in which the Aam Aadmi Party performed in the last assembly elections, be it of the assembly elections in which Punjab, Goa and Uttarakhand and various other states went to election. It was only in Punjab where the Aam Aadmi Party was able to eat into the seats of the Congress Party, whereas in all the other states we saw that the Congress Party was still the dominant party. In fact, it was the second biggest party in various states as well. In fact, in Uttarakhand, the Aam Aadmi Party was not even able to gain one seat. So it is at this point in time, as a student of politics, I think it is very, very early to say that Aam Aadmi Party is the dominant party when it comes to the national politics. But yes, if you talk about Delhi, then definitely in Delhi, the Aam Aadmi Party is definitely the alternative to BJP. The question that बीजेपी कंटिन्यूज टू आस्क मोदी नहीं तो कौन, तो मोदी नहीं तो कौन का आंसर दिल्ली में तो कम से कम मिलता है, और वो मिलता है अरविंद केजरीवाल के नाम से।
But Anshul, you know, optics play a big role as far as politics is concerned. So Aam Aadmi Party is saying, अगर हम पंजाब में ही कर सकते हैं तो हम बाकी स्टेट्स में भी ये कर सकते हैं. But let me bring in Nikhil also back in the conversation. Nikhil, what is the promise that the Aam Aadmi Party is today giving to the people of Delhi?
Promises we are joined by one of the councillor, Poonam ji, who has won from the Harsh Vihar award. And जी 237 आपका अवार्ड है पूनम जी, बहुत बधाई आपको। महिला है आप और देश की राजधानी दिल्ली के एक वार्ड में से आप आम आदमी पार्टी की तरफ से चुनी गई है।
सबसे पहले तो बता दीजिए क्या फील कर रही है, कैसा लग रहा है जीत, क्योंकि पहली
अच्छा लग रहा है बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है। मेरी जनता ने मुझे बहुत प्यार दिया है, मेरे बाट से बहुत मेहनत करी है सबने, मैं उनका भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करती हूँ।
ठीक है, ये आपका पहला चुनाव था?
हाँ।
अच्छा, पहला चुनाव था आपका। अच्छा ये बताइए, अब तो आप बन गए हैं कंफर्टेबल में, आम आदमी पार्टी आ गई है, प्लान क्या है, आप कैसे करेंगे? क्योंकि देखिए बातें करना बड़ा आसान होता है। अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने पहले कह दिया कि कूड़े के पहाड़ हटाएंगे, अगर वास्तव में उस चीज का सोल्यूशन होता तो बीजेपी वाले क्यों नहीं करते, या बाकी चीजों को लेकर के भी प्लान ओवरऑल किया, उसके बाद बताइए कैसे काम होगा।
तो वो तो अरविंद जी करेंगे ना, 15 साल से बीजेपी है एमसीडी में, वो नाली तो कर सकते थे ना साफ, उन पे नाली तो साफ आज तक नहीं हुई। 15 रखें, इतना तो वो कर सकते थे ना, तो अरविंद जी ने बोला है तो वो जरूर करेंगे।
पूनम जी एक चीज पे और बताइए, क्योंकि हमारे सारे दर्शक आपको लाइव सुन रहे हैं CNN पे, लेंटर की बात सारे नेता
की समस्या क्या थी, पार्षद उसमें चार्ज लेते थे, क्या था वो?
हाँ सब लेते थे जी, 50 गज से 50,000, 100 गज से 1 लाख। तो अब हमारे MCD आ गई, हमारे उसमें नहीं गया।
यानी कि आप कह रहे हैं आम आदमी पार्टी के जितने भी पार्षद रहेंगे किसी चीज से कोई कुछ नहीं होगा।
कोई पैसा नहीं लिया जाएगा।
ठीक है, आखिरी सवाल बस आपसे लेंगे, क्योंकि अब आप बनी गए हैं, आने वाले दिनों में आपके क्या
Nikhil, they're getting us voices of candidates of the Aam Aadmi Party who in fact have won, and the promises that they're making to the people of the national capital as well. Let's also listen into some of the reactions also coming in.
सबसे पहले तो नतीजों पे आपका रिएक्शन।
देखिए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने बहुत अच्छा चुनाव लड़ा। 15 सालों की एंटी इनकम्बेंसी और 15 सालों के शासन के बाद भी हमने बेहतर प्रदर्शन किया है, और दिल्ली के लोगों ने भारतीय जनता पार्टी के ऊपर भी भरोसा जताया है। हमने 39% वोट लिए हैं। हमने जो दिल्ली में आम आदमी पार्टी के नेता और मुख्यमंत्री कहते थे हम भारतीय जनता पार्टी को 20 सीटों तक समेट देंगे और हम आम आदमी पार्टी 230 सीटें जीतेगी, आज वो कहाँ है जो ये दम भरते थे। आज दिल्ली के अंदर हमने झूठ और भ्रष्टाचार जो आम आदमी पार्टी था उसका मुद्दा उठाया, और हमारे कार्यकर्ताओं ने और हमारे पार्टी के नेताओं ने टीम वर्क के रूप में अच्छा काम किया है। ये बात ठीक है, हम उसको रिजल्ट में उतना नहीं परिवर्तित कर पाए, और मुझे ये पूरा विश्वास है कि हम दिल्ली की जनता की सेवा करने के लिए प्रस्तुत होंगे। मुझे ये पूरा विश्वास है, भरोसा है कि जो लोग दिल्ली के अंदर चोरी करते हैं, भ्रष्टाचार करते हैं और मंत्री जेल में जाते हैं फिर भी उनको नहीं हटाते हैं, जनता और काउंसलर भी जनता है, और वो उनके साथ जाएंगे या जो उनके साथ जाएंगे जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी लोगों की सेवा के लिए काम करती है।
Well, multiple reactions there coming in. Time for us to slip into a very short break. But before we do that, now that we've gotten you the news till now, here's also big news that we have for car owners.
Definitely, the trends are with the Aam Aadmi Party, and this is what the exit polls had indicated earlier also. In fact, a lot of senior leaders from Bharatiya Janata Party are inside. In fact, the National General Secretary of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Tarun Chugh, also came a little while ago. And in fact, we see how BL Santosh was here, and Adesh Gupta is also well inside. When we spoke to him, he sounded very optimistic about the results, and he categorically said that it's going to be Bharatiya Janata Party's mayor who will be at the helm of the affairs at the municipal corporation in the national capital. But it still remains to be seen whether the BJP could actually pull off these trends in their favor. And in fact, we have with us Yasir Jilani also, who is the spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Yasir ji, number kabhi udhar ja rahe hain, kabhi idhar ja rahe hain. क्या लग रहा है?
संपूर्ण रूप से भारतीय जनता पार्टी का एक एक देवतुल्य कार्यकर्ता जो है उसको विश्वास है कि दिल्ली में हमारी जीत हो चुकी है। नैतिकता के आधार पे अरविंद केजरीवाल एंड टीम हार चुकी है। जितनी बड़े बड़े दावे थे, जितना लैंडस्लाइड विक्ट्री की पिछले 34 से 48 घंटों से वो जश्न मना रहे थे, जनता ने नकार दिया है।
Over the next few minutes, we continue to track the MCD elections, the Municipal Corporation of Delhi elections. Remember, the BJP has been in power in the MCD for 15 years. This time, the Aam Aadmi Party is hoping to change that. They're hoping to wrestle away power from the BJP. Now, will they be successful in doing that? There's been excessive campaigning from both parties over the last few weeks, a particularly high decibel run that we've seen from both parties.
Shivam ji, aapse janna chahungi, I'd like to know from you. The Aam Aadmi Party says that what Delhi has got in the last 15 years, when you were administering at the MCD, is heaps and piles of garbage. Sanitation is a core issue in the national capital and something that the BJP has not been able to take care of. I want you to talk about that particular civic issue of sanitation in the national capital and what has the BJP done about it. Shivam ji.
I do agree that sanitation and cleanliness is the core issue of the Delhi Municipal Corporation. I don't shy away from doing so. But I do want to say that it is the BJP who has ensured that the landfill sites, the height of landfill sites are reduced by the BJP run MCD only. The landfill sites were probably cut down to quite a good meters by the BJP only. It was the BJP who ensured that the garbage was picked up from every household, and there was a Ghar Ghar Kuda Uthane Ki Yojana by the BJP only. It is the BJP who's been working for the Delhiites in amidst lack of funds being which were probably stopped by the Delhi government for quite some years now. And still the BJP has been working fantastically well in Municipal Corporation of Delhi, and that is how
Shivamji, there's
the
a
people of
particular
Delhi have
landfill
responded to
site,
the
the
works of
Ghazipur landfill
BJP.
site,
And I
and
think
the so-called mountain of garbage which dominates the picture of Delhi. That's what the Aam Aadmi Party has been repeatedly talking about. They also say that you promised that you're going to bring it down, but you did not work on sustainable waste disposable mechanisms here in the national capital. Talk about that particular landfill site.
I don't respond to allegations, but I prefer to work on what I've done. If you want, I can take your camera team all across to the landfill sites where the height of the garbage has got reduced thanks to the plants being set up by the MCD. I don't need to probably counter on what allegations they are making. They all make false allegations, and that is how they have been into the politics since then. But I believe that my work for the past 15 years have been responded well by the people of Delhi, and this is how and this is why the BJP is again going to form a government once again in Delhi. And I think the trends what all you are showing right now is reflective of the fact that yes, the people have agreed and accepted the fact that for past 15 years BJP has done quite well in the MCD, even when there was a crunch of I would say
Funds.
cash and money that was being offered to them.
Well,
But
whether
still,
there was a
they
real
managed to
crunch
do
of
quite
funds
a
and
good
whether
work.
the allegations made by the BJP on the crunch are really true or not, we'd get to know. I'll take the reaction from the Aam Aadmi Party as well. But we're playing out this reaction that has come in on the story particularly. Let's play out that political reaction coming.
देखिए प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी की ये जीत हो रही है। जो रिजल्ट रुझान आ रहे हैं एग्जिट पोल के एकदम विपरीत हैं, उससे आपको पता चलता है कि लोगों को उनके झूठ से वो बाहर आ चुके हैं। आम आदमी पार्टी के आपके झूठ से बाहर आ गए और सबको पता है कि मोदी जी अगर झुग्गी के साथ मकान दिए, 3,500 फ्लैट की चाबी दी है, कूड़ा को रिसाइकल करके साफ प्लांट तो शुरू हो गया है, पानी साफ होगा, यमुना नदी साफ होगी, तो पूरे देश की जनता के साथ साथ दिल्ली की जनता यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के साथ खासकर हमारे पूर्वांचलिया के हम धन्यवाद देव कि भैया जोन बात बहिल जोन समझायल गई जोन रुआ लोग समझला वो रिजल्ट जोन देताड़ा वो खातिर हम हमारे समाज के धन्यवाद देव कि कमल के निशान पर विश्वास, हमारे मोदी जी पर विश्वास, भारतीय जनता पार्टी पे विश्वास बरकरार रखिए। देश का भला होता, देश का भला हुई, गरीब का कल्याण हुई और ये वही पार्टी, गरीबों की एक ही पार्टी है, वो है भारतीय जनता पार्टी। ऐतिहासिक जीत हो रही है। गुजरात में हम लोग 140, 145, 150 भी हो जाएं, वॉन्ट बी सरप्राइज। हिमाचल प्रदेश भी हम लोग जीत रहे हैं। उपचुनाव जहां मैनपुरी में हुआ।
All right, we're going to go over now to our reporters who are also on the ground. We heard from guests, but now we want to bring you ground perspectives. My colleague Yash is with us right now. He's outside the BJP headquarters. He's been bringing us minute-by-minute updates. Yash, we want to come over to you to ask you this question. A little while earlier, our colleague Pallavi brought us an interview with Manoj Tiwari. The BJP seems to still be saying that they are neck to neck with the Aam Aadmi Party, even though most recent numbers, and I want to draw our audience's attention to the numbers we're flashing at the bottom of our screen, the most recent numbers seem to show that the Aam Aadmi Party is in a very clear lead over there, 133 versus 104. Yash, are you seeing that reflected in the BJP headquarters as we speak?
Well, Toya, BJP at this point in time doesn't have any other option but to showcase the optimism when it comes to these entire elections. And in fact, moments from now, Tarun Chugh also came here at Delhi BJP office. And in fact, I'll show you certain visuals from here. People of the Bharatiya Janata Party are still quite positive. They are thinking that these elections could be turned with some with passing time. And in fact, we've seen.
Welcome back. Thanks a lot for staying with us. Let's also now talk about some other stories that we're tracking at this hour. The decades-long Belagavi dispute between Karnataka and Maharashtra continues to escalate as both the states are witnessing massive protests and vandalism in the district of Nashik and Sindhudurg. The situation continues to remain tense at the border area. Meanwhile, police has also now trying to ensure that law and order situation is maintained, but politics has erupted over the issue as NCP MP Supriya Sule rigged up the issue in Lok Sabha today, calling it a conspiracy against Maharashtra and demanded the centre to intervene, while Sena MP Sanjay Raut demanded that Belgaum should be declared a union territory.
हमारा जो राज्य है बगल का कर्नाटका राज्य, वहाँ का के सीएम जो है वो अनाप शनाप बोले जा रहे हैं सर। और कल तो हद कर दी, कर्नाटका बॉर्डर पे महाराष्ट्र के लोग जाना चाहते थे और उनको पीटा है सर। और आज तक एक भी कुछ आया नहीं है सर। और 10 दिन से महाराष्ट्र के खिलाफ षड्यंत्र हो रहा है और महाराष्ट्र तोड़ने की बात ये पूरे कर्नाटका के मुख्यमंत्री, और दोनों राज्य जो है दोनों बीजेपी के राज्य है। महाराष्ट्र में भी राज्य बीजेपी का है और कर्नाटका में भी बीजेपी का है। इसके खिलाफ भी पूरे टाइम में सर महाराष्ट्र कर्नाटका के जो मुख्यमंत्री है वो महाराष्ट्र के खिलाफ बोलते हैं। सर पीछे है लोगों को, सर पीछा है महाराष्ट्र की जनता को। ये नहीं चलेगा सर, ये देश है। और मैं अमित शाह जी को विनती करती हूँ,
सब्जेक्ट आपने ये सेंसिटिव विषय है, आप विषय दो राज्यों का है, इसमें केंद्र क्या करेगा? नो,
नाही तर राजीनामा द्या। या सरकारला 1 मिनिटही सत्तेवर राहण्याचा अधिकार नाही। ज्या पद्धतीने महाराष्ट्रावर हल्ले सुरू आहेत, एका बाजूला आसाम आणि मेघालय यांचा सीमावास सुरू आहे। आज अचानक हा प्रश्न उफाळलाय का? केंद्राच्या पाठिंब्याशिवाय हे होऊ शकत नाही। आमची मागणी आहे की जी काही महाशक्ती, ज्या महाशक्तीने सरकार आणि मुख्यमंत्री बसवलेत ना, त्या महाशक्तीला आमचं सांगणं आहे, ताबडतोब बेळगावसह सीमा भाग हा केंद्रशासित करा, नाहीतर या महाराष्ट्राला वेगळी पावलं उचलावी लागतील। तुमचं सरकार गेलं खड्ड्यात महाराष्ट्रातलं। मग
At this point, we are seeing NCP workers on the ground. In fact, they are protesting outside the Karnataka bank. The bank is shut for security purposes. Looking at the protest, police is present here to ensure that there is no untowardly incident. But NCP workers are refusing to relent. They are here to protest against the manner in which the Karnataka government is behaving in this issue, the kind of statements that have been given out, the manner in which ministers who want to go there and address the people, the Marathi speaking crowd, are being restricted. So clearly the allegation by NCP and the opposition is not much is done by the current government, and if nothing is done, they will take the matters in their hand. Remember, on the same lines, the CM of Maharashtra did speak to the CM of Karnataka recently. They had an extensive conversation on the lines of that people should not suffer in this particular crisis of sorts where the border issue has escalated once again.
Let me also now bring in my colleague Ritu, in fact, is joining us on the broadcast. Ritu, this dispute really is not ending. It's only escalating with each passing day. First, help our viewers understand what is the ground situation like. What are we understanding as far as the border area is concerned? Ritu, can you hear me? Okay, we'll try and re-establish that connection with my colleague Ritu. But as I pointed out, this border dispute, which in fact is not a new one, has been on for decades, only continuing to escalate. Now you're hearing from multiple leaders as far as Maharashtra is concerned. You had NCP, Supriya Sule, also raking up this issue in the Lok Sabha, wanting an intervention by the center. Multiple other reactions also coming in, like from Sanjay Raut, who's now saying that Belgavi, in fact, Belgaum should be declared as a union territory. But what's happening as far as Karnataka is concerned, and does the situation still remain tense? I believe Ritu is now back with us. Ritu, if you can hear me this time around, as I said, the situation is only escalating with each passing day. Maharashtra saying Belgaum should be declared as a union territory. They want intervention by the center. What is the ground situation like, specifically as far as the border area is concerned?
Well, you see, here in the Karnataka, yesterday it was a tense atmosphere that we got to witness. In fact, moreover, the pro-Kannada organization went out in a huge number where the Karnataka Rakshana VDK leader, in fact, mobilized a huge pro-Kannada workers, in fact, and came out in a huge number and started protesting there, trying to barge into the Belgavi district. So they wanted to protest in the Rani Chennamma circle in the Belgavi, but they were being stopped there. So there was a tense atmosphere that was created yesterday. But talking about today's situation, the situation is under control. The law and order situation is under control right now. And also you see that the travel being restricted and moreover the buses being suspended where the cops on ground ensuring that no untoward incidents takes place, and moreover that the Home Minister had in fact given out a strict word to the higher officials, police officials, saying that at any cost all the necessary actions can be taken as per what the higher official wants to. But meanwhile the ground situation will have to remain under control, because law and order at this juncture is what is important. But meanwhile, you see the kind of provocative statements coming out from the Maharashtra's leaders is actually not going down well with the Karnataka people here. So that's the reason we again, got to see some sort of ruckus again in the border areas. But now what the state government here is saying that the situation is under control, and all that they are looking forward to is the cordial relationship that has to remain in these border areas.
Okay, Ritu, I'll just request you to stay on with us. Let's listen into some political reactions and we'll continue this conversation.
सिचुएशन बस इचलगंजी का तो बस आएगा, लेकिन निपानी से बोरगांव जाना पड़ेगा।
आप कर्नाटक बॉर्डर तक?
हाँ, फिर वहां से फिर दूसरा कुछ।
क्या तकलीफ हो रहा है आपको?
तकलीफ तो है ना साहब, डायरेक्ट बस नहीं है। क्या तकलीफ तो आम पब्लिक को होता ही है सर। श्री नारायण, यहाँ से बेलगाम से।
तकलीफ तो है ही है, फिर इचलगंजी का डायरेक्ट नहीं है बोला तो फिर निपानी से फिर गाड़ी मंगाओ, प्रॉब्लम तो है ही है। फंक्शन के लिए जा रहे हैं, अभी शादी के लिए जा रहे हैं, बस नहीं है, डायरेक्ट बस नहीं है।
Definitely, if in a situation like this, government has to immediately intervene and see that the entire situation is diffused. And that is exactly what they have to do, and they have failed in doing this. Home Ministry has certainly failed.
दोनों भाजपा के मुख्यमंत्री हैं, वहां पे एक दूसरे के विरोध में बातें करते हैं, तो प्रधानमंत्री जी का क्या कर्तव्य होता है? देश के प्रधानमंत्री का इस समय क्या कर्तव्य होना चाहिए कि दोनों को अपने सामने बुला के, अरे वो तो आप ही के दल के हैं, दोनों को सामने सामने बैठा के चीज को रिजॉल्व करें। आसाम मेघालय की पुलिस एक दूसरे से लड़ रही है, वो यहाँ पर भारतीय जनता पार्टी के दो सरकारें एक दूसरे के विरोध में टिप्पणियां कर रही है, प्रधानमंत्री जी मुख्य दर्शक बन के बैठे हैं।
So the Congress now using this as an opportunity to attack the BJP, because this is becoming embarrassing and problematic for the BJP, considering the fact the Congress is saying these are both voices coming in from various BJP leaders. Why can't an amicable solution really be found? But as far as Karnataka is concerned, this is what my colleague Ritu was also pointing to, that today the situation is largely peaceful. Remember, yesterday in Karnataka, you had the Home Minister also chair a high-level meeting with other officials to try and, one, take stock of the situation and to also ensure that law and order situation is maintained. But as far as voices from Maharashtra are concerned, they only continue to escalate with each passing day. As I said, this is now, of course, being mentioned in the Lok Sabha as well, where an intervention by the centre is being asked for. They're also saying you should declare it as a union territory. So the larger question that is now being asked is, what really is the solution? Because as I said, this is not a new issue. This is something that has been disturbing both these states for decades. So what can be done as far as this border dispute is concerned? That's the larger question. And isn't it giving enough opportunity to parties like the Congress or to also raise questions as to what really is happening within the BJP? We'll try and track more details as far as this story is concerned. It is a developing story. For now, we're shifting our focus to some other breaking developments coming in. Ram Kadam has also now taken a dig at the opposition as far as this border row is concerned. He has now shared a caricature on Twitter. We'll try and understand what that caricature is and what is the larger point that is being made by Ram Kadam. I believe my colleague Vinaya is now joining us on the broadcast, and there we're putting out that caricature as well. Vinaya, help us understand the caricature that is being shared by Ram Kadam and the larger messaging that he's trying to make with this tweet.
Well, Radhima, we've seen that the Maharashtra government has come under a flag for the last few days for the way it has been handling the Maharashtra-Karnataka border row. The opposition has consistently targeted the government, saying that it has been spineless and it hasn't taken any strong action to stand with the Marathis of Belgaum. And that is why now it is the BJP's turn to hit back. We have seen Ram Kadam, a BJP MLA, tweet out asking a question on whether the current caricature that has been shown shows the truth of the current political situation in Maharashtra. Now, in the caricature, we see that the border row issue is burning, and we see leaders indicating to be the caricatures of Sharad Pawar and Uddhav Thackeray, saying to each other that they need to keep the issue burning. So this is the BJP hitting back at the opposition, which has been targeting the government, that despite the BJP being in power, not just in Karnataka as well as in Maharashtra, but also in centre, there have been such kind of violent incidents hampering the lives of residents in the border areas. So while the opposition has hit out at the government for the last 2 days for failing to tackle the issue, now the BJP has hit back at the opposition, somewhere hinting that this is a conspiracy of the opposition to keep the issue burning.
You know, but Vinay, even as the BJP is hitting back at the opposition, the larger question still remains. It is becoming embarrassing and problematic for the BJP in both the states. And this is the question that is being raised by the Congress. Since these are voices coming from various BJP leaders, why can't you have both of them face to face and find an amicable solution?
Well, that's absolutely the point, Radhima, and that is exactly the embarrassment that is being faced by the Maharashtra government. Because remember, for the last 2 to 3 days since the time we have seen this issue is being raked up, there have been certain statements that have been issued by the Karnataka Chief Minister, which have inflamed passion on both the sides, and sentiments have been running high. Despite that, Maharashtra government cancelled both the visits of its official ministers, who are the nodal ministers to handle the issue of Karnataka-Maharashtra row. Despite the statements coming from Karnataka Chief Minister, Maharashtra government has said that it has been wanting to have a peaceful solution and resolution to the issue. Somewhere it has been facing flack of the opposition parties, that despite BJP being in power in both the states, it has not been able to, not just has it not been able to resolve the issue, but in fact it has flared up the issue. And despite the BJP being in the center as well and the opposition raising the issue in the parliament as well today, the BJP, the opposition says, has completely failed to live up to the expectations and to maintain basic law and order situation in both the states. So since that flag has been coming on for the last few days, and since definitely the government has been in an embarrassing spot, it is now trying to blame the opposition for allegedly keeping the issue burning.
But Vinay, what essentially I'm trying to understand is where are the hurdles? Why has it been so difficult to find a solution to an issue that has been troubling both the state governments for decades now, considering the fact, as you're rightly pointing out, this issue has now been raked up in the parliament as well?
Well, Siddhama, yes, we have seen that this issue has been raging between the two states for decades at end now, since the time both the states were formed. And every time there is an election in either of the states or there are local body elections, we see this issue flaring up again. Now, on the background of elections coming up in Karnataka, we are seeing that this issue has been raised again, and we have
Vinay,
seen
I apologize for interrupting. I'll just request you to stay on with us. I want to take in a quick reaction from the NCP also. We have Mahesh Tapase who's joining us. Maheshji, good to have you on the broadcast with us. I want your first reaction to this caricature that has been shared on Twitter by Ram Kadam, essentially the BJP hitting out at the opposition.
First of all, I do not understand why Ram Kadam had to tweet. Yesterday, Pawar Sahib in his press conference categorically criticized the way in which Marathi vehicles with Maharashtra number plates were being hurled stoned at. And that is the reason why Mr. Pawar asked then amicable and a peaceful solution to the ongoing crisis has to be sorted. So that doesn't mean that NCP is trying to fuel the crisis. I do not know what Ram Kadam has in mind, but today we are categorically saying again and again that one party is controlling government in three different places. One in the center, second in the state of Maharashtra, and third in the state of Karnataka. So rather than beating around the bush, let the PM office call both the chief ministers and the deputy chief minister of Maharashtra and let this issue be settled once and for all on a very amicable situation, via a very amicable solution. Those who want Maharashtra, those Marathi-speaking community there, let us see how they can be, aligned with the state of Maharashtra. And similarly, if there is in Karnataka, then they can also talk for that. But I do not know why the political case is given to this. BJP of Maharashtra supports Belgaum merger with Maharashtra. This is the official stand of BJP in Maharashtra. So how come NCP is fueling the crisis? What right Ram Kadam has got to talk about such a thing?
No, so I want to essentially understand, and I want to go back to a comment that we heard from Supriya Sule, who, while raking up the issue in Parliament, said that this is a larger conspiracy at play against Maharashtra. Why is the NCP saying that?
No, larger conspiracy against Maharashtra because NCP stands for the unification of Maharashtra. NCP stands for more employability in Maharashtra. NCP stands for agricultural prosperity of Maharashtra. And all these are the things in which BJP is trying to take away or wean away industrial development in the state of Maharashtra, investment which is coming the way of Maharashtra and trying to take it to the other states. So why BJP is not able to control the current incumbent government should be in a position to control and they should give investment in the state of Maharashtra and that is there. And BJP is highly criticizing the current. We are coming on the road alleging misadministration in various the government is the reason they are targeting us now.
Okay, Maheshji, we leave the conversation there. I'd like to thank my colleagues Ritu and Vinaya as well. As we said, it doesn't look like that this controversy is dying down or this tussle is dying down anytime soon. We want to now shift our focus to the other big story that we're tracking. The government versus the governor. That tussle still continues in Kerala. Now you have the Pinarayi Vijayan government who presented in the State Legislative Assembly. The bill was presented by the Higher Education Minister Arbindu in the Assembly. This will essentially remove Governor Arif Mohammed Khan as the Chancellor of the state universities and appoint experts in the field. The bill will grant power to the government to carry out the replacement on the basis of inquiry. Remember, pending draft bills were earlier approved on the 30th of November in a cabinet meeting chaired by the Chief Minister. Even as the University Rules Amendment Bill was passed in the last Assembly session, and this is pending before the Governor, Arif Mohammed Khan as well. Let me also now bring in my colleague Neetu, who in fact has been tracking these developments for us. Neetu, what does this mean as part of the ongoing tussle between the governor and the government and the governor?
See, the face-off between the governor and the government has been continuing for quite some time, and this is yet another bill that has been brought in the state legislative assembly now. The University Laws Amendment Bill 2022, and in this it says that they will have people experts in the field as chancellors of state universities. So this essentially means that the governor will be removed as the chancellor of the state university. The discussion on this bill is still going on in the state legislative assembly. And opposition leader V.D. Satish, while raising the objections, have said that this will affect the autonomous status, and the whole appointment procedure is also not clear. What he went on to say is that the pro-VC is the minister. So now, if if the government appoints somebody as the university vice chancellor, the person will not have the same stature as that of the pro-VC, who is basically the minister. So they have pointed out this and also said that then the autonomy of the universities is something which will be affected, because the universities work as autonomous institutions, and then now, with this move, the government will essentially convert this as government departments, because the government is essentially making the appointment of the chancellor. These were the main objections raised by the opposition leader V.D. Satish. The government has also responded to this, saying that there has been a lot of issues, and they are only aiming to have experts in the field so that the chancellors will be able to deal with this. Also, one of the MLAs while speaking also said that the chancellor is not at the stage for more than half days, like for about 146 days. So how can he manage the responsibility?
Okay, Neetu, we leave the conversation there. Thanks a lot for getting us all those details. Shifting focus, the winter session of Parliament is currently underway. Speaking ahead of the session, you had the Prime Minister who called for unity amid the session, saying that it should be a productive one. He also appealed for parties to let the first-time MP speak. External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar also discussed India's foreign policy, including G20 in the House. It is important to know that the government has said that it's ready to discuss all the issues which the opposition is raising. The opposition parties, led by the Congress, have a long list of issues that they want to discuss. Some of the key issues include the China policy, misuse of investigative agencies like the ED and CBI, and even inflation.
The G20 summit is to be held next year, and it would be one of the highest profile international gatherings to be hosted by this country. During the G20 Bali summit, held under Indonesia's presidency, India extended fullest support to ensure its success. Our contribution to finding a common ground among members in a polarized environment was widely appreciated. We are also increasingly engaging the world in group formats, reflecting the growing interest on their part to cooperating with India. This could be with the ASEAN, with Africa or the Pacific Islands, or indeed the Nordic nations, CARICOM, CELAC, or Central Asia. Our growing collaboration with the European Union is of particular importance.
Let me also now bring in my colleague and senior editor, Pallavi Ghosh, who's been tracking all these developments as far as what the opposition is wanting. Pallavi, talk to us about the issues that the opposition wants a discussion on, and are they hopeful of a meaningful debate and discussion?
Well, I mean, they're a little cynical, I would say, because they think that the government will not allow them to raise these issues, because according to the Congress and rest of the opposition, the government always circumvents any attempt at asking these questions. Well, what do they want to raise? They want to talk about, of course, the misuse of the ED and the CBI. They, of course, also want to talk about rising prices. They do want to talk about foreign policy like China. The economically weaker section verdict of the Supreme Court, the government stand on it, is something which the Congress party really wants to raise. We have a very short session. It's a 17-day long session. Today was just a day one. Kind of peaceful, I would say, somewhat today, but we'll have to watch out from tomorrow whether this peace lasts and whether there is going to be a kind of a communication between both the sides.
Pallavi, thanks a lot for getting us all those details. Let's also now get you a wrap of all the other stories. The Deepam Chariot Festival was held in Madurai after a gap of 2 years. A large number of devotees participated as far as this festival is concerned. The festival started with the flag hoisting on the 28th of November. BJP workers staged a day-long protest in Jharkhand against the ongoing power crisis in the state. The protest took place in front of the state's electricity board headquarters. The BJP's Ranchi Town Committee condemned Hemant Soren's government and called it a total failure. Besides this, they said that common people, students and farmers remain to be the worst sufferers. The central bank, the Reserve Bank of India's governor, Shaktikanta Das, today announced a 35 basis points rate hike. This happened. The RBI maintained its stance of focusing on the withdrawal of accommodation. The policy rate is now at 6.25%, which is the highest level since 2018 August. This is the fifth time that we've seen the central bank go forward with a hike. The quantum now is at 225 basis points.
Based on an assessment of the macroeconomic situation and its outlook, the MPC decided by a majority of 5 members out of 6 to increase the policy repo rate by 35 basis points to 6.25% with immediate effect. Now, I think this is one occasion where the market expectations and the decisions of the Monetary Policy Committee are by and large aligned.
Union Law Minister Kiren Rijiju expressed concerns over the issue of pendency in courts. He said the real challenge lies in the lower court. This comes as in the coming months, the number of pending cases are set to cross the 5 crore mark. He further flagged the issue of inadequate infrastructure at the lower courts. In a bid to boost education among children, the TRS government in Telangana has now rolled out free uniforms and books to students. Besides this, the government also distributed nutritious food for free. These provisions for the students are ensured under the government's midday meal scheme. Telangana Minister K.T. Rama Rao has inaugurated the Pet Crematorium Ananta Yatra in Hyderabad. The huge step has been taken to provide a dignified farewell to the pets in the state. The project has been jointly executed by the GHMC and People for Animals NGO working for animal welfare. Large number of people protested in Delhi's Preet Vihar alleging police inaction. This after a 3-year-old boy was allegedly kidnapped by neighbor and later found dead in Meerut. According to report, the victim's decomposed and headless body was recovered from a field. However, the accused has been arrested and the probe is currently on. A fire broke out in a factory in Delhi's Jimili industrial area. Following this incident, 11 fire tenders were rushed to the spot. No casualties have been reported. The damages caused by the blaze are yet to be assessed. A suspected blast has been reported near the Sidra Beach checking point in Jammu. Now, police are conducting a thorough search on the spot to verify this matter. UK's King Charles visited the Sikh temple during his visit to Luton. He bowed in front of the Sikh holy book, observed a religious ceremony, and even unveiled a plaque to mark its official opening. However, King Charles' visit was briefly disrupted after a man allegedly threw an egg in his direction. Following this incident, the suspect, who seems to be in his 20s, was immediately then put into custody. Ukrainian President Zelensky marked the country's Armed Forces Day in a ceremony held in the presidential residence in Kyiv. Zelensky expressed gratitude to the military service members on behalf of the Ukrainian population. He also observed a moment of silence to pay his respects. And again, Ukraine's President Zelensky also visited a hospital in Kharkiv. The president toured the facility and spoke to the medics and the injured troops, thanking them for their services as far as the war is concerned. Zelensky also gave medals to members of the armed forces and took selfies with the recovering soldiers. Amid extreme violence and unrelenting drought in Somalia, refugees are now fleeing to the neighboring Kenya camps. According to the United Nations, tens of thousands of people have sought shelter there in the recent week. Due to this, the camps are now falling short of adequate spaces. UNHCR has planned to boost healthcare facilities, and humanitarians have also expressed their grave concern. Turkey's foreign ministers have threatened to take action against Greece if it continues to arm its alien islands. Ankara has said that the area should remain demilitarized in line with international treaties. However, Athens has defended the action and said it has been done to protect the island against any potential attack from Turkey. Israeli bulldozers are dismantling commercial crossing points on the eastern city of Gaza. This came after Israel decided to extend the security barrier at the location. At the Koni crossing, you had been the largest and main import-export terminal for the Palestinians. It was equipped with scanners and even conveyor belts. However, it was shut down when Israel imposed the blockade on Gaza way back in 2007. Indonesia's parliament has unanimously passed a penal code that criminalizes sex outside marriage for citizens as well as foreigners. The amended code expands the existing blasphemy law. Besides this, citizens can also face a 10-year jail term if associated with organizations that follow the Marxist-Leninist ideology. At least 8 people died after an explosion rocked northern Afghanistan. The blast occurred when the bus was carrying government employees to work in a province in bulk. In a separate incident, at least 6 people were wounded when a bomb exploded at the money exchange market in Jalalabad. No one has claimed responsibility of the blast as of now. Well, we'll keep tracking all these developments and much more. But for now, it's a wrap from my side. But news continues here in CNN News 18 with Anand.
Thanks, Ridhima. Namaste. Jai Hind, ladies and gentlemen. You're on CNN News 18, and let's get to the top story at 4 p.m. straight up. And it is the municipal corporation elections in Delhi. The Aam Aadmi Party winning the elections to the MCD, dislodging the BJP from power after a decade and a half. The Arvind Kejriwal-led party has won 134 seats, well past the halfway mark of 125, 126, giving them majority in the 250-member civic body. The BJP fighting close. It was supposed to be or touted to be a landslide runaway win for the AAP. That's not how it's been. The Congress's tally is in single digits. Interestingly, Liquorgate and Massagegate have taken the sheen off the Aam Aadmi Party's performance. The BJP has won in all 3 wards in Satyendra Jain's constituency, Shakur Basti. BJP has also won 3 wards under Patparganj in East Delhi constituency. That's Manish Sisodia holding that constituency. He is the Delhi Deputy Chief Minister.
अब अपने को सबको मिलके काम करना है. मेरी सबसे अपील है सभी कैंडिडेट से, सभी पार्टियों से कि बस राजनीति आज तक की थी तो मिलके दिल्ली ठीक करनी है. बीजेपी का भी सहयोग चाहता हूं, इसमें मैं कांग्रेस का भी सहयोग चाहता हूं, मैं सबका सहयोग चाहता हूं. सबके सहयोग से हम दिल्ली को ठीक करेंगे. और आज के बाद से मैं सभी पार्टियों का भी सहयोग की अपेक्षा करता हूं कि हम सारी पार्टियों को साथ लेके चलेंगे. जिन लोगों ने हमें वोट दिया उनका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. जिन्होंने वोट नहीं दिया उनको मैं कहना चाहता हूं पहले आपके काम कराएंगे फिर दूसरों के काम कराएंगे.
यहाँ खड़े सभी साथियों को, दिल्ली के सभी कार्यकर्ताओं को, आम आदमी पार्टी के देश भर के कार्यकर्ताओं को सबको बहुत बहुत बधाई. और साथ साथ दिल्ली की जनता को बहुत बहुत दिल की गहराइयों से धन्यवाद, क्योंकि उन्होंने 15 साल की भ्रष्ट भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार को हटाकर ईमानदार, कट्टर ईमानदार केजरीवाल जी के नेतृत्व में एमसीडी में भी आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार बनाने के लिए बहुमत दिया है. आज दिल्ली ने सिर्फ केजरीवाल जी को जिताने का मैंडेट नहीं दिया, बल्कि 15 साल से एमसीडी को लूट रही और दिल्ली की जनता को लूट रही भारतीय जनता पार्टी को हराने का मैंडेट दिया है.
मैं आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं, क्योंकि इलेक्शन लड़ते नेता हैं लेकिन फाइनल जनता करती है. आम आदमी पार्टी ने दिल्ली भी जीती है और दिल भी जीते हैं. हुकूमत वो करते हैं जिनका दिलों पर राज होता है. यूं कहने को तो मुर्गे के सर पे भी ताज होता है. तो आप लोगों ने हमारे दिल जीते हैं। जिस तरीके से आप लोगों ने बाहर आके वोट किया, आपने विश्वास जताया, चाहे वो दिल्ली में हो, तीसरी बार, चौथी बार हो गया अब तो एमसीडी, पंजाब में हो, और कल शाम तक आपको गुजरात में भी ऐसा है।
Well, the Aam Aadmi Party's political rise is a case study in itself, ladies and gentlemen. Just about a decade in the mix, as far as the political mix, they're now registering their presence across multiple states. They are in power in 2 states, Delhi and Punjab. They have made inroads or claiming to make inroads in Gujarat. They are going to get active. They were active in Goa. They're active in Uttarakhand. They're active in Himachal. They're active in Karnataka. Let's look at the rise. 2013 Delhi Assembly polls. It's the second largest with 28 seats, formed a minority government. 2015 Delhi Assembly polls, 3 years since inception, they won 67 of the 70 seats, massive mandate. 2020 Delhi Assembly polls once again came back and won 62 of the 70 seats despite battling anti-incumbency and of course a strong challenge from the BJP. 2022 Punjab Assembly polls bagged 92 out of 117, so runaway wins, storming into power in Punjab where the Rivayati parties were rejected by the people. 2021, the Chandigarh civic polls, they won 14 out of 35 in the municipal wards in the Union Territory, but perhaps missed a trick in the book because the mayor was not theirs. 2021, Surat civic body polls, they made an entry into Gujarat, won 27 out of the 120 wards. It came as a surprise, so much so that Kejriwal air dashed into Surat, and they're hoping that they can cash in on that gains in the assembly polls. The result day is the 8th of December. 2022, Delhi civic body polls, they end BJP's 15-year rule in the MCD with a clean majority, but not a landslide victory. For concern is the drop in the vote share compared to the assembly polls in 2020. Within 2 years, that drop, should it worry Arvind Kejriwal, or is it the municipal body elections? It's okay, but the majority is clear, far above the halfway number. Yash Goyal joining us live from the Delhi BJP headquarters, and Nikhil Lakhwani from the AAP headquarters. Nikhil, first to you. The Aam Aadmi Party, big, they are celebrating it as a big win. There are many AAP leaders who are saying that in 2024, the projections have started, that it is Kejriwal who's the option for Narendra Modi. But will the AAP not look at the fact that Satyendra Jain's constituency, they've lost the wards, Patparganj, and also that is Manish Sisodia's constituency, Haji Yunus's constituency, they have lost in critical bastions?
Well, Anand, it is too early to compare the election of the Municipal Corporation of Delhi to that of the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. But yes, the leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party now clearly posing the Arvind Kejriwal, the Chief Minister of Delhi, in comparison with that of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. But yes, as you have rightly mentioned, Anand, many of the bastions, many of the grand bastions, particularly in the capital city, which belong to the constituency of the Manish Sisodia and that of Satyendra Jain, who is currently lodged inside the jail for 6 months now, that particular wards have been lost by the leaders of the leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party side, for which the BJP national spokesperson Shehzad Poonawalla, he has come out in the public domain. He has said that clearly this is the message which has been given by the constituents, that they are rejecting on the basis of the corruption charges which have been leveled which was started in fact in particular by the leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party. But also at the same time we need to see, Anand, that with the election results of the MCD, BJP is gradually being wiped out from the national capital city. Now all they are left with is 7 of the MPs in the capital city. Apart from it, they have majority in not even either the assembly, and now they have been swiped out from the MCD as well. But this is going to be a big thing because it will help the Aam Aadmi Party to expand its base. Because we have spoken to a number of prominent people of the Aam Aadmi Party who are highly placed inside that particular party. They have been telling us that now they are aiming for the target for next 10 to 20 years to 30 years. So this is the particular win which will help them to expand its base and wing as well.
Expand their base. One would have thought that if they were going to replicate the success of 2020 in 62 assembly constituencies out of 70, the kind of victory that they had, the polls, the exit polls had projected, Yash, a landslide victory, runaway win, more than 180 seats, actually doing what the BJP did at the MCD polls the last time around. What about the BJP? Is the BJP now going to do a thorough introspection? Is there going to be a cleanup of the entire Delhi BJP altogether? Adesh Gupta was the Prabhari, but he himself lost.
Well, definitely, Anand, and that's why meetings of top BJP leaders started early in the morning at this BJP office at Pantmarg, which is the Delhi BJP office. In fact, in the morning, we saw how BL Santosh arrived at this very place, followed by Jay Panda. Then other senior leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party also came. So, in fact, this entire coming up of top leadership at Delhi BJP office, so definitely they are going into introspection, and they will be introspecting like what went wrong in these elections. And in fact, we don't need to forget one, we should keep in mind one thing, that BJP was at the helm of affairs in the corporation for last 15 years. So they were battling an anti-incumbency in the national capital. And in fact, when we spoke to certain leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party post the verdict of this particular MCD election, they've been stating that their condition has drastically improved. And they also went on to say, and it's factually correct also, they have their vote bank, they have their voter turnout and vote bank intact. Where we seeing the numbers last time around, the number was similar to what they've got this time as well. So what the Aam Aadmi Party has done, they have taken a majority chunk of the Congress party and other independent MLCs who were standing last time around. So in fact, it's a time for introspection for the Bharatiya Janata Party, and we could
well, the BJP may claim that they have perhaps 0.5% or 1% more vote share compared to the last time around, but and the Aam Aadmi Party has slipped about 12 voter percentage points since the assembly elections. But the fact is, it's not enough. The BJP is not growing its base. The BJP is holding on to its base. It's not growing its base. The AAP, meanwhile, continues to grow at the cost of the Congress and also at the cost of the BJP. It is continuing to grow. Would they be happy with the kind of results that they had when they were expecting a landslide runaway victory? Or will they also have certain concerns to address? But more importantly, Aam Aadmi Party sits firmly in the heart of Delhi. Delhi ka dil aapne jeeta hai. Why the MCD win is so significant? It's a 10-year-old party that is ending a 15-year rule of the BJP in the MCD. See, this, ladies and gentlemen, is a case study in itself for the rise of the Aam Aadmi Party as an alternative in the last 10 years under Arvind Kejriwal, beyond Delhi also. And even within Delhi, the kind of comprehensive mandates that they've been enjoying. Issues raised by the Aam Aadmi Party resonating, having the pulse of the people. AAP's image as an honest party gets an upshot despite Massage Gate, despite the excise policy thing, and looks like the wards there have punished the local leaders. They punished Satyendra Jain and Manish Sisodia, but overall not taking out on the Aam Aadmi Party as a whole. So the Kejriwal factor seems to be very strong. Boost for 2025 assembly polls with greater control. It gives wings to the national ambitions ahead of 2024. You have AAP leaders already spinning a civic body poll to a national level projection, trying to say that the Aam Aadmi Party is perhaps, and Arvind Kejriwal perhaps is the face. And this is going to be a tussle because there are many people who would want to be that face that would take on the BJP juggernaut led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. These voices are also resonating in Gujarat. There are also similar talk which is happening in Himachal, saying that the AAP is replacing the Congress in these states as the opposition that will challenge the BJP going forward. Will this all hold good? We'll have to wait. You have to watch it here on Result Day live at CNN News 18. But is the Aam Aadmi Party going to actually say that the MCD victory is enough? Bhagwant Mann talked about Gujarat even well in that victory address. But if AAP does not score well in Gujarat and in Himachal, then what does it mean? What does it imply? And them losing critical bastions, not just these two leaders, but other leaders too. What were AAP, traditional AAP strongholds, Nikhil? The Aam Aadmi Party has not won this time.
Well, I would like to reiterate this particular thing. If you remember, there was this momentum with the Aam Aadmi Party